What's up, everybody? I'm Damon Hatfield, joined here by my good friend Jared Petty.
Hi.
We are both big Friday the 13th fans, and we're now rewinding this new trailer for the new Friday the 13th game.
It has been a while since we have had a full-blown console Friday the 13th game, and I'm really excited about seeing this come together. I'm wondering what's going to turn out like. Now this, here, right here on the shores of Camp Crystal Lake.
Which wasn't, when this project started, it wasn't Crystal Lake. This was a different game called Summer Camp.
Volume 1?
Volume 1 Slasher? Is
Yeah,
that the full name?
that was the original name. And then somewhere along the way, Gunn, who was putting this together, got the Friday the 13th license. And now this game is a game where one player plays as the killer. Oh, wait, and look here. You mentioned Summer Camp. Look at that T-shirt down there on the bottom, and you can clearly see Summer Camp written on it. I don't know if that's an homage or a recycled asset.
Yeah.
But
now I can read it better. When I originally watched this trailer, I thought that was a bloody T-shirt that was on the ground, but now I can see that.
It's a Summer Camp, and I like this here. The trail of clothing headed down to the lakeshore. So one of the things I like about the Friday the 13th movies is the kind of ridiculous regard to sex and nudity that's a part of them.
These are slasher films where teenagers act irresponsibly and then get murdered. So
exactly.
There has to be a certain amount of titillation that goes with these.
Kind of a morality play element. And what I've wondered is, video games kind of shy away from that kind of thematic treatment. I mean, in the end, the camera pans away. Is this game going to allow you to run around and, is it going to show people the kind of toplessness and bottomlessness we're used to from these movies?
Well, I don't think there's a lot of bottomless action in these movies, but
from the rear.
Okay, there's some rear end shots, sure.
Yeah.
At the beginning, it says they anticipate an M rating. So
yeah, okay.
And then they're showing us a lot of scenes that are very evocative of classic Friday the 13th moments. Yeah. This campfire scene reminds me of Friday the 13th Part 2.
Yep.
At the very beginning, when they're telling the story of the murders that happened the year prior. And
really
this trailer is being narrated by Jason's mother.
Right, we're not sure where in the timeline this falls yet. He's got the hockey mask. Where we know that from a little later on, so we know that it's got to be sometime after 2. Maybe it's like the Legend of Zelda, and it's just sort of the same story retold again and again. That's kind of what Friday the 13th is, anyway. Oh, they're off sneaking in. They were peeking over the edge of the lake here. So yeah, Summer Camp became Friday the 13th. We know we're going to have a group of counselors. We know we're going to have a killer. One player is going to play the killer. Everybody else is going to be the counselors. Mm-hmm. The killer has powerful weapons. The counselors are attempting to escape. They can either work separately or work together. I love this outhouse. There's a kill waiting to happen there. These environments entice me most of all by, if we can rewind for just a second. Here we have the outhouse, the shed, just a little bit. Last scene. We've got the outhouse. We've got what looks like a shed off there in the background. We've got the dock. There's a cabin here. These are all iconic locales that were inspired by these movies. What kind of death is going to take place at each of these locations? Are they going to be environmental murders?
All kinds of deaths, Jared.
Yeah, and
all the kinds.
There's a tire swing in that last shot, for example.
They're definitely getting a very cool, moody atmosphere.
I like that.
Here.
I also like here on the right, you can see the pickup truck. Apparently, as I understand it, there's going to be hopefully an escape clause for the counselors. Is it going to be reaching a vehicle? But as we know from horror movies, if you step up to a truck and turn the key, what happens?
Well, it's not going to work.
No, it's not going to work.
Definitely
so I'm
not.
wondering what's going to happen here. Oh, and there it is, the big reveal. Boom, 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 boom. Okay.
So a few things we can glean from Jason here. This is he's very decomposed. So this is like well into the Friday the 13th timeline. Yeah. We guess, he's got the chain around his neck, which we were talking about this earlier. I think at the end of Friday the 13th Part 6,
right,
he gets chained underwater. And
by
then
Tommy.
The boat propeller chops him up a little
bit.
Oh,
no. Tommy dies at the beginning. I'm sorry. He gets chained at the end.
Whoever that guy is.
Anyway, sorry.
And then he's left underwater, chained underwater. And then I think the post-credits scene has his eyes opening underwater.
Right.
And then he escapes at the beginning of
Part 7. And then the psychic girl beats him up.
Yeah.
And then he's about to destroy the psychic girl. And her dead dad, comes out of the lake with a chain and grabs him again and pulls him back underwater.
And I think gives her a thumbs up. If I
give her a thumbs
correctly.
up. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And Jason is holding his signature machete.
Yeah. So again, this trailer is a cutscene. It's just a cinematic.
Here you can hear some very iconic Friday the 13th sound effects.
So I'm excited about the possibilities here. Now here's a review. Here we are: Xbox One, PS4, and Steam. So those are the 3 target platforms. You see, it's a Kickstarter. This started a summer camp when they went to Friday the 13th. Launched a Kickstarter to go with it. I like the idea of this kind of player versus player, one versus many game for a slasher movie. I think that's a good fit. I like some of the things they've told me. I have no idea how this is going to turn out. We haven't seen any actual gameplay here.
It's true. Well, like I was saying earlier, the bar has been set pretty high by Friday the 13th on the NES.
Oh, published by LJN,
Yeah,
developed by
Atlas.
Yeah. Just how is that possible? And by high, you mean?
Ironically high.
Ironically high, yeah. It's Mike Tyson's Punch-Out with Jason.
Yeah, basically.
It's, all right.
Anyway, we'll have to see how this shapes up. The Kickstarter is launching soon. Has launched?
The Kickstarter is launching today, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's by the time people are seeing this, the Kickstarter's up.
All right.
So.
Well, we'll see if it can smash crowdfunding records.
Yep. And by the way, this Kickstarter campaign will end on Friday the 13th.
When's the next Friday the 13th?
November.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's launching on Tuesday the 13th, which isn't quite the same.
Yep, not quite the same, but it ends on Friday the 13th, so that's pretty cool.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for this Rewind Theater. For more on the new Friday the 13th game, stay tuned, IGN.